Welcome back to the 50 Shades of Blonde show. I'm Missy Day.
And Jill Branson.
And we have another beautiful blonde with us today who is a very special friend of ours.
Yes.
Dun da da da! Karen Eastman!
Hi.
I'm so glad you're with us. Aren't you
you.
glad to be here?
I am so excited to be here, you guys.
Oh, look at how this all kind
I
of
know,
goes
isn't that
together.
beautiful?
Like
I'm blingy,
everything.
You do look like royalty.
I'm blingy. Yeah.
We're not worthy.
Right?
Yeah. We're just little low-life princesses over here. She's the queen.
So, we need to get moving because I have a lot of
Yeah.
questions.
Okay,
So does
let's
Jill.
do it. Let's do it. I'm in. I'm ready. I'm geared
Yes.
up.
So let's talk
got my
about a
arsenal.
little company that had a little problem called Equifax.
Okay. Most people don't even know what Equifax does. We all know that when you try to get a credit card or you try to buy a house or something, they have to check your credit, right? That doesn't seem like a big deal. But what people don't realize when the Equifax breach happened is that the information that was leaked was, well, let's think about this. When you go to get a credit card or you go to buy a home, they know already what credit cards you've ever had in your life. They know every piece of property you've ever had. They know every job you've ever had. They know your social security number, right? They know pretty much everything there is to know about you. So when that information was leaked, what's to stop anybody who has access to this information from going out and buying a piece of property, going to
Right.
buy a boat, going to do anything? Even if you don't have good credit, they can still take portions of different people's information and get that done. So what happened? Yes?
Okay, so let me say, did I hear that correctly? They can take different portions from different people and make one person?
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. So what really happened is when Equifax was breached, they kept promoting LifeLock. And people don't even realize that LifeLock partners with Equifax.
Yeah.
So they're giving their running because they're the ones that advertise, right? So they're running to the company who's giving their information to the company that just lost all their information. So in essence, and also if you look on the link that you guys shared for 50 Shades of Blonde, I posted a link of Elizabeth Warren interviewing the CEO of Equifax. And I got to tell you, she nailed him to the wall. She knew the answers to all of her questions before she ever asked them. And she basically said, is Equifax positioned to benefit from this breach? And he went, yes.
Sorry, what?
And he had to say yes to everything. And she'd say, you're darn right. And this is, so I'm telling you, she nailed him to the wall. The point of this story is you need to have something in place that doesn't only monitor your credit, but if you should have something happen, you need some forensic people to bring you back to pre-theft condition, and that's basically what the company that I work with does. Is we do full restoration back to pre-theft position, pre-theft status. So why that's important is because if you end up having somebody buy a piece of property in your name in another state or a vehicle or something like that, you can, or let's just say that they file your tax return before you do. That's into the hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars of people filing tax returns before the other person does. And you can't just call the IRS and say, where's my check? The IRS will say, well, we sent it out to you on the 15th, you cashed it on the 15th, on the 18th, whatever. And you'll say, well, no, that wasn't me. Well, is your name so-and-so? Yes. Is this your social? Yes. Is this your address? Yes. Well, it's been, you signed it. No, I didn't. So now, do you think they're just going to pen you another check? No, it's a whole, this is going to take months to get through. I think it was $5.8 billion worth of tax returns that were falsely filed in 2016.
Oh my word.
2015 maybe even. So it's an epidemic, and you can say it's never happened to me, but when it does happen to you, if you have nothing in place, it's going to be detrimental.
Well, and sad to say, the banks, like my experience last year, our accounts were hacked 3 times. The bank is just like, basically,
Well, and I'll be honest with you. What happens is when you have a credit card issue or you have a checking issue, maybe you wrote a check and somebody washed it or whatever, your bank is your first line of defense. But I will tell you that your identity is not your credit cards.
Right.
It's your money. Your identity is your social security number, your passport, your medical information, your home address even. All of those things, your tax return, those things are more of your identity than your credit card. So if they can't, if the bank isn't willing or can't do something with that, that's where we step in to help you with that as well. So we do monitor. We just take it to the extra level. We've got a $5 million guarantee that whatever it takes for as long as it takes will bring you back to pre-theft status.
So do you partner at all with the bank? So like for my example is they not only hacked our account, but they were operating under my social security number.
Mm-hmm.
So do you partner with the bank, or is that two separate
Two
things?
separate things.
Okay.
Two separate things. So you give us the information that you have of what's happening, and basically you give us limited power of attorney to just handle that specific issue, and we run like tigers and fix it for you.
So I have to say, so after listening to you speak at Infinity Networking about identity theft, so we signed up for that, and I would say for the peace of mind that you get from that, for the cost of it is next to nothing,
Right.
really.
Exactly.
Absolutely. So for $24.95, it covers the entire family. So you're not having to pay, and I believe some of the other companies charge like $9.95 or $10 per person in the family. You're not only covering yourself and your significant other, could be married as long as you're living in the same residence. It could be a same-sex couple even. So as long as you're a couple living in the same residence, it's covered under that $24.95. It's the premium plan. There's only one plan, and it covers everything. And it covers up to 8 kids. So if you've got 9, just pick your 8 favorites and rotate them, right?
Otherwise, you're on your own.
Pick the rebel of the family, the black sheep. You're out. You're out. I'm not covering you. You're the one that's probably stealing all of our identities anyway.
Well, and I had to call Karen because
you
I
had an
had a
issue,
little
too.
issue. My husband and I received like a stack this tall of somebody that had opened up accounts in our name, and we go, "What's?" I said, "Did you do that?" And he said, "No." Well, it ended up that we just kept getting more. We kept getting more stuff every day in our name. We called them right away. We called Karen and we went, "See, this is one of those things where you keep saying, 'Oh, I don't need it. I'm
Right.
okay.'"
Right.
And then when this happens, you go, "Oh my God, Karen, Karen, Karen."
Mary, can you still
Oh
help
my God.
And so for me, instead of saying, well, it's like buying car insurance after the accident,
Right.
I go, it'll be okay.
It'll
I'll
be
help you.
okay.
I'll help you.
I'll help you.
So, honestly, for the cost of what it costs. Okay, that
The
was
cost of
redundant.
what I got.
That was redundant. But anyway, for what it costs a family to protect themselves, if one issue happens, you'll be so thankful that you have
Exactly.
it, that
It's
it's
well
worth.
worth
You'd pay $1 million to have it if something like that happened to you. So I mean,
Exactly.
you pay for insurance on your phone. That's the crazy thing to me.
Yeah.
We all pay insurance for our phone because we
Right.
will never be without the thing.
Right.
And if we're late for a meeting, we're going to be later because we're going to go back home and get it. So what I find is if you don't have something in place, like I said, you'd pay $1 million to have it, but just to have it in place, to have the peace of mind, like Missy said, to know that if anything happens, if you have a question, you've got a 24-hour emergency line. If you're in Hawaii and you're partying on the party boat and your purse falls off into the water, Legal Shield can help, because honestly, here's the thing. If your wallet or your purse gets stolen, where are the numbers to call if your purse is lost or stolen?
In your purse.
It's
in your
on the
purse.
back of the card with your purse, right? So how do you even know who to call? Well, it's all, Legal Shield has all that. Kroll is who we work with, who we partner with in that for our identity theft. So that's what we do, is we already know all that stuff. We know everything. Even if your passport's in there, we have all that information, so we can help you rectify that as soon as possible.
Which
It's-
is just so wonderful.
It
because
is
we
wonderful.
kind of freaked out just a little.
I could hear it in your voice.
Yeah, you can go, "Ah."
And that's interesting though, Jill, because think about that. Like buying car insurance after the accident, that had already happened to you,
Right.
and you're still able to put that. Now, if it's something that's a real detailed thing that they have to go into, then they're going to charge a fee for that because it
Right.
is a pre-existing situation. But as far as advice on to be able to walk you through, okay, what to do, who to call, what to put in place, what freezes to put in place, all that kind of stuff, that's super helpful information when you really don't know
Sure.
what to do. So even with a pre-existing situation, it's good to call and say, okay, look, that's as close as I want to come to a real disaster, so let me go ahead and put this in place.
Exactly. That's just what we did.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
I also want to mention something else because it's personal to us. So my husband may or may not have got a ticket, and
Okay.
so I am
Somebody you know.
Yeah, somebody I know. I'm I'm telling this for a friend.
Yes, yes.
So they got a ticket, and so I called you. And because Fred was like, somebody said, don't you have that thing through Karen? And I said, yes. And he's like, call her. And I was like thinking, okay. So I did. And you called me back and you said, take a picture of it on your phone, send it through the app, which I have to say the app that they have on the phone is amazing. Mm-hmm. And I did. And they called me within like 15 minutes and they asked some questions.
That was quick.
And yeah, it was very quick. And she goes, okay, we go to court, I'll let you know how much, it's going to be. And, there's not going to be any points, and it's going to be dropped down to,
parking ticket.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No points, no traffic
school. It was
school.
amazing.
And then they usually give you about a 30, in Nevada anyway, they usually give you about a 30-day extra time to pay the ticket, whatever they get it down to. So they'll call you, even if you, let's just say you were visiting family in another state, and you got a ticket, you take a picture of the ticket with your phone, put the court date, push the send button, it goes straight to your attorney. They'll look at it, call you, and say, hey, what were the circumstances? Well, the tree was over the stop sign. I couldn't see it. They're going to go to court for you. They're geared, loaded for bear. They already know what the situation was. And even in another state, they're going to send the attorney from another state to court for you and not charge you a dime extra. How worthwhile is that?
Wow.
If you've got teenage drivers, that's how I got involved in the business anyway. That's how I fell in love with it. Our oldest son had just turned 16 and gotten his driver's license. And when they were talking to me about the program and said, and we cover traffic assistance if you ever get tickets, we go to court for you. And I'm like, okay, where do I sign? And they said, oh, we have all this other benefits too. And I go, yeah, whatever, just where do I sign? So I've had it for 7 years. I now have a 24-year-old and a 21-year-old, and it just makes sense to me. Now my 24-year-old has aged out. He aged out at the age of 23 because he was full-time college. But the 21-year-old is still on the system for another couple of years. And for me to have the peace of mind to know that if my kids ever get in trouble, which they're good kids, they really haven't been in any kind of trouble, but you never know when you're going to be in a situation where you're around somebody else, and they're not going to let you call your mom, right? Hey, officer, can I call my mom? No, you can't. You should have thought of that before. Well, officer, can I call my attorney? They don't have much choice in the matter. They've got to give them that option, that right. So, that's where I found the value in it. And so I just knew that I knew a lot of other people with kids that were my son's age that didn't have that kind of protection either. So it made a lot of sense to me.
Awesome. Well, we are so glad that you could be on the show with us today. It was very fun.
Are we done? We're done.
Yeah,
I know,
we're done. It goes by so fast. So that
does.
means you need to come back.
I will come back.
Awesome.
Hi, everybody that came on the show.
So tell everybody how they can get a hold of you.
So my number is 702-249-8555, and you can email me at kareneastman.legalshieldassociate.com, or you can go right on the website and check out all the different things that we offer at kareneastman. I did the wrong one. So the website is kareneastman.wearelegalshield.com, and my email address is kareneastman@legalshieldassociate.com.
Wow. And you're on social media, right?
I am on social media, absolutely.
All right, awesome.
Absolutely.
Well, thank
Thanks
you
so
again
much
for coming.
having me,
It was
girls.
lots of fun.
We're so excited.
Thanks, blondies.
Yes.
Stay tuned for our next segment.